Hi everybody, here I am again. I've got a little Christmas yarn to tell you. I've noticed that on social media they've been talking about a match that took place 36 years ago at Walthamstow Assembly Halls. Well, I was in the ring with Blondie Barrett and Brookside and Steve Adonis. I'm not sure who the referee was, but that doesn't matter really. About in the middle of the second round, one of the audience, we call them punters of course, jumps into the ring, and before I know where I am, he's on my back. So I dragged him off and chucked him out of the ring, because in their job, you get rid of them as quick as you can. You don't let them stay in that ring very long. Out he goes. So we carry on wrestling. I suppose we got through that part of the round and into the third round. And then John Harris, who was the announcer, was on the bell. He rings the bell. Ding, 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 ding. I thought, what's going on here? Because we haven't got a fall or anything. I looked down, and there's two policemen standing with him at the timekeeper's table. I thought, what the bloody hell are they doing there? So I looked up and looked around, and I noticed there was a row of coppers at the back of the hall as well. So well, anyway. So John stops the match, and these two policemen get into the ring and come over to me. And one of them says, "We're going to arrest you." I said, "No, you're not." He said, "Yes, we are." I said, "No, you're not." And in a strange sort of way, he actually listened to him, and they both got out of the ring and went away back to join the other police at the back of the hall. John Harris rang the bell, and we started wrestling again. We're wrestling away, and not for long, we didn't get through that round. They come back, but this time they all come down. So the two that came in the ring the first time get back in the ring, but the rest of them are round the ring. Stop the match again. This time they get in and say, "We are arrested you." I thought, well, I'm looking around and think, yeah, you're probably right, you are. Come on. So I had to get out of the ring. And they escorted me back to the dressing room, where they told me I was being arrested for beating up, or not grievous bodily alarm exactly, but for thumping this guy and chucking him out of the wrestling ring. Because I said to him, well, if I chucked him out of the wrestling ring, what was you doing in there? He said, "That's not the point, you've knocked him about." All right. So I said, well, anyway, I've got to have a shower. I'm not going like this. It's got to be wrestling gear. And I've been in the ring now for three rounds, so I'm sweating. And this copper says to me, "So we can't let you go in the shower on your own. We'll have to go with you." I said, well, "You're quite welcome to do that if you want. Let's get in together." I think he said something like, "Don't take the piss." But anyway, I went in the shower and he stood outside. I had my shower. I never took the mask off. Throughout all this, I never took the mask off. I had a shower, in the shower, with the mask on, come out, got my clothes on. I'm escorted to a police car at the front, and there must have been about 5 police cars out there. And they escort me off to the police station at Walthamstow. I go inside the police station. There's a sergeant standing behind a desk. They're not quite as elaborate as they are nowadays. It's a little bit more primitive. I don't think there was a computer on show or anything like that. It's all pen and paper, you know. And this policeman, or the one that took me in, he laid out what I'd been sort of arrested for. And the sergeant said, "All right, name, this, that, and the other. Take that mask off." So I had to take the mask off when I got in the police station. So I took the mask off. "Right, what's your name?" And I'd give him my name, address, la, la, la. Did all that. And then he said, there was a bench just probably 10 feet away from the desk. There was a bench against the wall. He said, "Sit over there while we get this sorted out." The policeman that had brought me in disappeared. Right? So I'm sitting on this bench. I've been there probably about 5 or 6 minutes, or perhaps a bit longer. And the policeman that had disappeared and brought me out came back in, goes over to the sergeant, and doesn't say it out loud, whispers something to the sergeant's ear, and the sergeant goes, "Oh, right. So the policeman disappears, and the sergeant looks at me and he says, "Do you want a cup of tea?" I said, "That's not a bad idea, yeah, thanks very much." He said, "I don't think you're going to be here that long." I said, "Why, what's wrong?" He said, "Well, they're taking his statement in there, and they've asked him why he got in the ring in the first place, and he's told them that Jesus told him to do it. He said, I don't think that's going to go down very well. I think you're going to be out of it. He said, but on top of all that, we've got about 30 or 40 of them outside, the crowd. He said, so we'll deal with him first, get rid of him, get rid of the crowd, and then you can bugger off. So I had my cup of tea. So I decided to ask him how they'd managed to get so many policemen there so quickly. And he said, well, we've had a riot down the town this evening at the local football derby. So they were already in town. And when they got the phone call that it was all kicking off at the wrestling show, we thought it was the football crowd gone down there and started again. That's how you got so many people there so quickly. He said normally we wouldn't have that many policemen on duty that we could spare. But it was an exceptional night. And you're in the middle of it all. I was there for another half hour or more. But fortunately for me, Lawrence, who had brought the car down, so when I left the police station, I got in my car and we drove away. But Jesus saved the day, you see. If it hadn't been for Jesus, I'd have got charged. So there you are, that's a nice little Christmas story. On top of all that, of course, I've got another little Christmas event going on with Mr. Bagger, our Sanji. Well, he's got this referee who's been shooting his mouth off on social media, saying that I lost the match at the Fairfield Halls. I will just call him Sanji's Little Helpers. But as it's Christmas time, I think Sanji's going to need more than just one little helper. He's going to need all of Santa's little helpers. Because when I come for Sanjay, he's going to need a lot of help in that ring on the 28th. So I reckon you should have a word with Santa now and get all the little helpers on board and the reindeer if possible. So I hope to see a few of you there at the match, because I hope there's going to be a match, because I'm up for it again. So if I don't see you before, happy Christmas everybody.